Calling the meeting to order. Announce the meeting's being recorded in accordance with 940 CMR 29.10, remote participation adopted by the Greater Lowell Technical School Committee, April 17, 2014. Committeeman LeMay and School Business Administrator Mike Knight will be participating at tonight's meeting remotely. May I ask everyone to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, liberty, justice for all.
Can I have a roll call?
Mr. Bahu?
Here.
Mr. Tatsias?
Here.
Mr. Moran?
Yeah.
Mr. O'Hare? Mr. LeMay?
Here.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yep.
Mr. Getchia?
Yeah.
Mr. Gigi?
Here. Are there any members of the public who are signed up to speak tonight, Mr. Moran?
Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to request we go out of order and hear from the business manager first. Motion?
Motion. Don't move.
Second? Oh,
Hold on.
do I make-
Can I recommend someone?
no, I thought we wanted to do that first. Huh? To take Mike and get him out of here
Mike
and then,
Knight,
yeah.
yes, Mike Knight.
Okay.
Mike, are you ready to do your, piece of the agenda?
Yep.
So do we need a vote?
I am.
Roll call? Let's have a roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran? Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yep.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mike.
All right, Mike, you're up.
All right, the first item on my agenda this evening is the declaring of a medical assisting EKG machine as surplus for disposal. This machine is 15 years old and reached the end of its useful life and has actually already been replaced in the medical assisting department. So I'm just looking for a motion to approve the disposal of the Burdick Eclipse EL EKG machine.
Can I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
All right, the second item on my agenda is a list of school budget transfers, or school budget transfers presenting to the school committee. As we're going through the year, we're having our technical shops ramp up, ordering supplies and other materials as needed. And then we did go through the salary accounts again through the budget and identified areas where we were previously had moved money out because there were positions that were still unfilled that have now been filled, or where we had changes in positions or lane changes with staff and moving the funding to support those as well. So we're looking for a motion to approve the budget transfers of $700,899.06.
Can I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. And now Mike will lead the discussion on the FY23 budget. I'm going to turn it back over to you, Mike.
All right. So we did just have our public hearing for the budget. So I would be looking for, at this point, a motion from the school committee to approve the budget as presented at the public hearing for a total dollar figure of $53 million. Oops, sorry, I lost my sheet here. $53,310,415.
May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second.
Move.
And then a roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. LeMay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes, and I guess, Mike, you're free to continue on with your evening activities.
Mike, congratulations.
Congratulations,
Thank you,
Mike.
Mike.
Congratulations.
Thank
Congratulations,
you.
Mike.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mike. Congrats.
Any school committee communications? I don't hear or see any. Now on to the report of our student representative. I turn it over to you, Tom.
Thank you very much. The Skills USA District 4 competition took place on Thursday, March 17th, 2022, with 214 Greater Lowell students in attendance. This year, the event was hybrid with all schools in our district competing at the same time, but on their own campuses. Results of the competition will be released on or before March 24th, 2022. The Environmental Club is partnering with Zoo New England in the global Gorillas on the Line Challenge by recycling electronics to reduce the negative environmental impact of electronics on the gorillas' habitat. From March 1st to April 28th, you can bring your unused and unneeded cell phones, smartphones, iPads, iPods, tablets, Apple Watches, adapters, chargers, MP3 players, handheld gaming systems, and headphones to the donation boxes in the main office and Teachers Resource Center. The freshman and sophomore committee is getting ready for their next after-school field trip. On March 31st, we will be heading to Chunky Cinema to see The Lost City. The students are excited as this trip will provide food, fun, socialization, and entertainment. The Peer Mentor Club theme for the month was self-care and mindfulness. Mentor pairs participated in guided meditation and mindfulness activities, discussed why self-care is so important for reducing stress and anxiety, and shared different methods of self-care. The hope is that both mentors and mentees will apply these strategies to their academic and social relationships at school, home, and in the community. GSA recently held an open forum where students were able to discuss their experiences, both positive and negative, here at GLTHS, to identify the areas of improvement as well as the areas of strength. It was very interesting, and the students definitely enjoyed the discussion. In addition to this, they also discussed more modern terms being utilized by the LGBTQ community. Drama Club is full of drama. They are running lines, setting the stage, adding soundtracks, and working on stage presence. Rehearsals are ramping up, and the performance of the stage version of Clue is tentatively scheduled for Thursday, May 5th and Friday, May 6th. The Senior Class Planning Committee is excited to announce that the 2022 prom theme is Midnight Garden. Prom will be held on Friday, May 13th at the Boxborough Regency. Tickets will go on sale March 28th on myschoolbucks.com. In addition, graduation caps and gowns have arrived, and diplomas will be ordered this week. The Yearbook Committee is getting ready to send the 2022 yearbook to the printers. The final book is in the proofreading phase and will be printed in time to distribute during Senior Week. As in past years, all graduates will receive a yearbook supplement in the fall that includes spring sports, prom, Senior Week, and graduation photos. And from the athletic department, spring sports are off and running as of Monday, March 21st, with over 600 athletes trying out for one of our spring programs. This past winter season saw much success for the Griffins on the mats, court, track, ice, and in the pool. Here are some of the highlights. The Greater Lowell Neshoba Tech ice hockey team had a very successful season, finishing just one game short of the MIAA tournament qualification. Griffin Indoor Track continued to grow in the 5th season of the program's return. Both the boys and girls teams captured CAC League titles. Several team members also qualified for the MIAA State, All-State, and New England competitions. Our Griffin cheer team continued to build on their successful fall campaign, competing in a number of invitational competitions this winter and qualifying for the Division I regional competition. The swim and dive team had another tremendous run of success, with several team members finishing among the top place winners in the CAC League competition. Griffin Wrestling once again tackled the toughest season schedule of any program around. The results were, as usual, outstanding, with a number of place winners at the MIAA regional and state meets. And both the boys and girls basketball had great moments during their respective seasons. Each qualified for MIAA tournament play, while the Lady Griffins also advanced to the championship of the MVADA State Vocational Tournament. And that concludes the report tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Tom. Great
Have a
job.
great night. Thank you so
Have
much.
a good one.
Thanks, Donna.
On to approval of the minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from the February 17th meeting?
Motion to approve.
Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsy?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. On to the report of the treasurer. Can I have a motion to waive the reading?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Actually,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the expenditures of $4,443,120.31, give or take 5?
Motion. Second.
It won't live that.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. I don't see Mike McCarroll here, so there's no report of general counsel. I now turn the floor over to the Superintendent, Jill Davis.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the first item on my agenda this evening, I would like to inform the committee that Greater Lowell Tech has been awarded a Skills Capital Grant in the amount of $200,000 for metal fabrication and advanced manufacturing to upgrade their tools and equipment to meet industry standards. The next item on the agenda, I would like to inform the committee of another grant award. Greater Lowell Tech has been awarded a benchmark grant funded by the Enterprise Holdings Foundation through the Collision Repair Education Foundation in the amount of $2,500, and the funds will be used to purchase tools for the auto collision shop. Next on the agenda, Greater Lowell Technical High School has entered into a partnership with the Mass Hire Lowell Career Center. The contract was executed in the amount of $22,285, and Greater Lowell Tech will be providing a certified nurse assistant program after school for approximately 10 enrollees between March and June. Next, I would like to ask for the committee's approval to accept a donation totaling $4,124 from the Greater Lowell Community Foundation grant made possible through the recommendation of donor-advised funds. One of the donations of $4,124 was $1,000 donated by the Merrimack Valley Rotary Club for the Lawrence L. Day Memorial Scholarship Fund for tools and scholarships, and the other was in the amount of $3,124 donated by the Mark and Elisa Saab Foundation for the Greater Lowell Technical High School Student Activities Fund to provide annual support for our student activities here at Greater Lowell. And a copy of these award letters were included in your packets,
Can I have a motion to accept the donation of $4,124 from the Greater Lowell Communication Foundation grant on behalf of the Merrimack Valley Rotary Club, Mr. and Mrs. Saab? Have a motion. How about a second?
Second.
Can I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes.
Next on my agenda is the cooperative education report, and the report that was included in the packets provided to you indicates a total of 204 students on co-op, 183 senior students and 21 junior students. But I'm happy to say, as of today, we currently have 220 students on co-op. I also would like to add that we currently have a new partnership with Analog Devices in Chelmsford. So we're happy to add them on to one of our co-op, as one of our co-op employers, and thank them for their partnership. So we will be assigning students to positions that are available in Analog Devices, and those will be for students in our electronics program. Next on my agenda, I would like to provide an update on the general health and safety protocols. This is sort of a review. On February 25th, the Commissioner of Elementary and Secondary Education announced that the CDC no longer requires masks to be worn in schools. So on February 28th, students at Greater Lowell Technical High School were no longer required to wear masks. As always, wearing masks in school is an option supported by us. So students and staff who wish to continue wearing a mask may choose to do so. On February 28th, we shifted to a new testing, state testing program recommended by the Department of Education. This testing program, discontinues test and stay and contact tracing for in-school close contacts. And in place of that, we now distribute test kits every 2 weeks containing 2 tests for those who opted in to self-test at home, and they're scheduled to test on Mondays, on Sundays or Monday prior to the start of school on Monday. And these test kits are distributed bi-weekly. We also are continuing our, pool testing program, as well as if anybody comes to school symptomatic who is enrolled in this testing program for the state can be tested here at school. So that's an update on the health and safety protocols at this time. And that is the end of my report for this evening.
Well, thank you, Ms. Davis. On to any old business. Anybody want to talk about old business? On to new business, if no one wants to talk about the old business. All right, so I guess it's that time of the year for the annual reorganization of the committee and election of officers to take effect April 1st, 2022. And I want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be your chair this past year, and that you have volunteered above and beyond. And there's little or no recognition for that position. It's a thankless job, and you guys did it great. You really did a great job this year. I want to thank everybody on the team.
And I'd
Thank
like
you.
to thank you, Chairman, for your
Excellent
support,
job.
especially through, through the pandemic this year. In the pandemic, it was greatly appreciated to you and the committee for supporting our school community, so thank you.
Thank you very much.
Great job, Kevin.
Thank you. At this time, I guess we have to have a motion for the next chair, and I would like to put my motion in for Fred, who served as vice chair in a very good capacity, to serve as chair for the next year. Does anybody else have a motion? they
Mr.
want to bring
Chairman?
forward? Yes?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Yes.
I would, like to place the name of Fred Bahu in nomination for the next chairman.
I got 2 votes.
Yeah.
There's 2, I need another one, I got 1.
All right, how about a second on that motion?
Second.
All right, how about a roll call?
Mr. Bahu?
Or do we want to do the vote privately?
Well,
Yeah.
that's up to you guys.
Just do the roll call.
We can
Just do a roll call?
If there are no other nominations, you can do a roll call.
All right, anybody else want to be nominated? Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes,
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. And don't give them any flags.
I'm gonna be giving
Why not?
soon, in 10 days.
Now on to the vice chair. Any nominations?
I'll nominate Lee Getchia for vice chair.
How about a second? Any other nominations?
second.
All right, I guess how about a roll call?
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes,
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. Now on to the secretary. At this time, I'd like to nominate Matt Sheehan.
Second.
Any other
Second.
nominations? How about a roll call?
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
yes,
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. And I want to congratulate the new officers.
Yes.
congratulations.
Second.
I like it, holy cow, it's coming in.
Are there any committeeman motions? Any report of subcommittees? Fred, do you want to say anything about the budget? I think we already dealt with that.
Yeah, I think we sort of had our 3 meetings on the budget, had our open meeting for the public review, as well as attend, and we passed the budget for $53 million. moving forward, here at Greater Lowell Tech for our students, and to better our community for 2022 and 2023. So we can just leave it at that.
All right, and then I guess we'll be on to executive session, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, motion to adjourn to go to executive session.
Do we have to
Come out of
take,
executive
do we have to take a vote after executive session? We could just end the meeting now and then go into
You
executive
have to
session.
approve the
Oh, we gotta
finance
approve.
minutes.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the minutes from the February 17th and March 8th Finance Subcommittee meetings.
So moved.
A second,
So
Second,
moved.
then a roll call.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
All right,
Okay, motion to
go into
go into
executive session.
executive session and come back out and come back for a roll call.
That's right.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes, and I guess we're going to have to come back because we're talking about ratification.
Yes,
So
we'll take, yes.
we'll adjourn and then we'll have to come back. Motion to adjourn?
Nope.
Can't do.
Nope, no.
Nope.
We'll just take a short break then.
Yes.
Good idea.
Meeting back to order. We'll need a roll call.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the 3-year contract for the Greater Lowell Paraeducator Organization for July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2024 with a 2.5% salary increase for each of the 3 years. May I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes. Next, can I have a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement between the Greater Lowell Technical High School School Committee and the Greater Lowell Educational Support Staff? Need a motion?
Second,
Second. Roll call?
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes, may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Bahu?
Yes.
Mr. Tatsias?
Yes.
Mr. Moran?
Yes.
Mr. Lemay?
Yes.
Mr. Sheehan?
Yes.
Mr. Getchia?
Yes.
Mr. Gigi?
Yes,
Don't feel good.
meeting adjourned. We're still-